Here's Mike. You know Mike Centauri. You've seen him win in some tournaments. You've seen him in all the Angler's Choice. And if you fish the Upper Bay or anywhere around here, the Potomac, you've seen and heard Mike's name before. We were up on Conowingo the other day doing a little sonar and stuff, and talking about Mike has got the Insight or Lowrance on his boat too, don't you?
Yeah, I have the Spotlightscan. I got two linked HDS Touch 3s, a 12 and a 9. And then I also have a Hummingbird with a 360.
Yeah, and that way you got to see how that Hummingbird 360 versus the other one works together.
Versus the Spotlightscan, yeah.
Right.
I've had both on and off at different times to look, and then I've had them both on running at different frequencies. And in my opinion, the Hummingbird 360 shows a lot more information, contour, grass versus rock, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
The unique thing about the Hummingbird is you don't have to stand on your trolling motor foot pedal and rock it forward and backwards to get an image, because it has its own motor and it constantly pings. So you're always getting a refreshed image. Whereas with the Lowrance, and you know, for me, I've grown accustomed to the Hummingbird, and I've used it like a major tool. I pull up to a dock that maybe I normally would fish, and I go to flip a piling, and I look down at my 360, and all of a sudden there's a tree over there, 10, 20 feet off the dock I never knew was there.
Well, that's what Duke Nave was just saying when we were talking to him a few minutes ago, that it always helps him, and he said that the 3 fish that he caught today, the 3 big ones, were caught off of a tree. That he found using his 360 that he wouldn't have known was there, and that's how he ended up with a good bag today. And
absolutely.
How he won Angler's Choice for the year.
Sure. Well, when the elites were here for practice, I got to spend a day on the water with Chad Pipkins. He also has the Hummingbird 360, and he found stuff down here that I never knew about while he was here for practice. By the same way, pulling up to a dock he'd never been to before and finding structure maybe somebody threw off the dock, or an old set of pilings, or so having that 360 is really an advantage.
Yeah.
And like I said, now if you just have that Spotlightscan and you go pulling up to a dock, well, you're looking where your trolling motor's going. You're not seeing behind you or next to you, or so that's where that Hummingbird 360 really has advantage.
So when you have the means to spend the extra money, it's definitely worth the extra money. But in the meantime, the Spotlight's going to serve you pretty well until you can upgrade to something else.
The one thing about the Spotlightscan, which was a benefactor to me, was when I purchased my Skeeter FX21, I got the limited edition, everything's all hooked up. But for my front unit to have down imaging, it had to run off the back transducer. So by purchasing the Spotlightscan, it's a 3-in-1 transducer. It gives you a high definition sonar, which I believe they call ping. It has, chirp.
Chirp.
So it has chirp sonar, high definition sonar, which works with the upgraded Lowrance unit. It has down imaging, so instead of looking off the back of the boat, now I can look off the trolling motor, and it has Spotlightscan. So for the $300 to $500 that they retail for, it's worth it even if you're not going to use the Spotlightscan. It's still worth it. I noticed with the universal sonar in the trolling motor head, I'd go over 3 to 5 foot of water and have grass, and my Lowrance would blank out. But with that high definition sonar, it has the power to read through the grass and back again without fouling.
That's good to know, because these are the kind of questions that people have. They haven't really used the newer electronics yet. They're used to the older units, and they find it difficult to network them and really understand how to best use them to get the most out of them. And this is the kind of stuff that people really like to know, and
Absolutely.
It helps people out. We appreciate it, Mike.